Over 2 decades of sports radio dominance in Utah.
My favorite.
This is DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Join Scotty G and the coach Tuesday from 10 to 2 at Tim Dolly Mazda and Sandy, 10785 South Auto Mall Drive. All right, here's the question. Former NBA All-Star Jeff Teague says Darryn Peterson is the best guard drafted in the last 10 years. Can this be true? Mike, after 2 practice games? Sure. Let's anoint him. Mike, that's the proper attitude. I love the sarcasm. Thank you. Troy, could be. He's only 19.
Well, yeah, but everybody wants to be able to say, hey, I saw it coming.
Yep.
And Teague was a good player. Now, he did make one All-Star game. I think it was like 2015. And he actually won an NBA title. I think he got picked up when the Bucks beat the Suns a few years back. But he was in the league for a long time. And now he's got a podcast because everybody has to have a podcast. It's like a requirement. Mm-hmm. Did you get your vaccinations to go to grade school? Did you get your podcast? It's the thing. You have to check all the boxes.
Did you get your diaper changed?
Just,
yep.
From
how's your podcast?
Things that happen.
Good.
Did you go to school? Did you graduate? Did you have your podcast? Did you get your degree?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get married? All the things that people must do in life to be successful. And now that includes a podcast, particularly if you're an ex-player. So many podcasts over there. It's like out there, I should say. And I look at the podcast world and I'm overwhelmed. I don't know which one to choose because there's so freaking many.
Well, in that case, choose ours.
I already listened to mine.
Every sports radio show is podcast these days. Sports radio, just like, I don't know, let's podcast the whole thing. Okay. As an industry, that's pretty much how it works.
Yeah, now YouTube and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So away you go. So anyway, the point is that Teague has some level of credibility. And, I get you want to be able to say something that's going to grab the attention, but is it that outrageous? Is it that outrageous?
Well, by definition, being the best player at a position in 10 years is outrageous. That is pretty rarefied air.
Is it? But is it out? Somebody's got to be it.
But someone does have to be it. And, in this era of positionless basketball, is Luka Doncic a guard?
Yes.
Is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander a guard?
Yes.
Is Donovan Mitchell?
Yes.
That seems to me like that's the neighborhood he's got to go to and then exceed to make that true. Jamal Murray. Although Jamal Murray might be more than a decade now.
Well, he is.
Okay, so he doesn't count. Oh, he's 2016. So Doncic is almost a decade, but not quite, right? Because I think he's got 8 or 9 years in the league now.
And then Mitchell was the next year, and then Doncic was the year after that. I would other candidates, you already mentioned a couple. I would put in Anthony Edwards. I would put in.
So is he a guard or a wing guy? Positionless basketball gets all gray. It sort of is, but it's a small forward. But it's a forward.
But it's a guard.
It can be.
It is.
This is the gray area of positionless basketball.
I don't think it is. I think wings are guards.
How about Jalen Brunson? How long has he been in the league? He's got to be right pushing that 10-year mark.
Sure. And Cade Cunningham.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is a rarefied air.
And then I think that, they're just getting started. But last year, Edgecombe and Con Knibble.
Yeah, Brunson just finished his 8th year going to his 9th, so he's in this. Yeah, and I didn't want to go with the recent guys because who they are hasn't been decided yet.
No, but Peterson is more recent than those guys.
Oh, I get it. But to me, the bar you're trying to clear is the Luka Doncic bar, right? It's the Jalen Brunson bar. And okay, 7, 8, 9 years in the league, you're establishing a body work. You're into your prime. We know.
Okay, yeah, but you're projecting.
It does seem outrageous. It seems like a big ask, but it does seem doable. And not just because the Jazz drafted him, but because of the hype that we were hearing literally a year ago. A year ago, we were told that at least a quarter and maybe a third of the league was going to dump games because this draft was so good at the top and so deep beyond that teams were going to be in because they wanted one of the top 2 or 3 picks, and that the teams who didn't get top 2 or 3 picks were still going to get good players at 5, 6, 7, 8. And it turned out, sure enough, a third of the league was dumping games. So is Teague right? I don't think you can answer that. I think the people who said it's debatable, spot on. I don't think it's outrageous.
That's
I mean,
the
it's
point.
outrageous.
Is it outrageous?
It's outrageous on the surface to say, and this is a bit, but it is possible.
The point being, can he be better than Brunson? Can he be better than Jamal Murray? Can he be better than Mitchell? Can he be better than Doncic? Can he be better than Edwards? And can he be better than Cunningham? Now, those
That's
guys,
the group. That's the group.
Cunningham was drafted in 21, so that's a good chunk of time. Mm-hmm. And he's a good player.
Right.
No doubt about it. So can he be better than those guys? That's the question.
Nathan, probably, judging by what I saw in his 2 summer league games, give him a couple of years, this guy's going to dominate.
Dominate? Ooh, yeah. Okay.
See, you can dominate, but to me, what Teague said is even more. It's way easier for me to agree with Nathan and say, yeah, I can see it. I mean, all these rookies going into summer league, he's supposed to be better than everybody. Well, right out of the gate, 2 games in, he looks way better than everybody. Not only is he way better than everybody, this looks easy.
Yeah, but this isn't the comparison.
It's all we've got to go on. And he's
but we're not going on anything. We're projecting.
I know, but that's the point of a podcast and a sports radio show.
We're projecting.
Yes.
It's not what we've seen in the summer league.
It's what we've seen in college, what we've seen in the summer league, and what other people have seen and heard along the way. And I guess you could throw in, well, he's literally got the measurables to do this, right? He's going to be as big or bigger than a lot of the people. And given his skill level, it's going to make him awfully hard to stop. I mean, he's going to require, slowing this guy down looks like it's going to require, hey, we got to put a 6'7" small forward on him, you know? I mean, if you want to go back in Jazz history, they're in the finals, the best teams, the best playoff runs they've ever got, and the Bulls are like, we're not putting a 6-foot guy on that 6-foot guy. We're putting a 6'6" guy on that guy. That was what, and maybe we'll put 2 of them and we'll double him and get the ball out of his hands. That's what you had to do to Stockton, and that's what these players require. Right now, it doesn't really look like he's the kind of guy who can be defended one-on-one by a guy his size. Find a bigger guy or double Darryn Peterson. Those look right now like that's what coaches are going to run to. And that's what they ran to with Donovan Mitchell, and Mitchell's smaller. But I remember one of the things when he had issues early on, it's like he's got to learn how to handle it when he's blitzed, okay, when you're double-teamed. An aggressive double team, the blitz. Yeah, because people couldn't stop him one-on-one. Dude's highly skilled, and he's not bigger than everybody. He's the same size or smaller, but he's still skilled. He can still find space to get a shot off.
Oh, I think they all can. I'm not sure.
That's why so many
great ones can't be stopped.
Right. So then when you go to what Teague is saying, okay, so now he's great. He can't be stopped, but he's going to be more efficient than these guys.
Efficiency is the key.
Right.
Because these guys can score, and they will continue to score, but how many FGAs do they need? You know, obviously, if you score 28 and you take 26 to get there.
Right. Well, and this is the whole
your team win.
This is the whole Jaylen Brown discussion. And it was funny because in that discussion, I saw, these are the numbers that the analytics guys are looking at. You know who caught strays in that discussion?
Everybody who's a nerd.
Luka Doncic. He's missing more shots than you think he's missing, even though he's a cheat code, he can't be stopped.
What teammates does he have? Who are his teammates? Do I pass the ball to somebody who has no shot to make a shot, or do I take the shot? I mean, that's Dybansta. You're going to judge him on that stuff. Well, who the crap was he going to pass it to? He had no confidence in any of his guys, and he shouldn't have. He had to pretend that he had it,
for the reason
but
the guys
didn't.
Couldn't make shots.
Yeah.
And BYU didn't want to keep those guys, and they all transferred, and other big-time programs didn't want those guys because they went to, quote-unquote, lesser programs.
Yeah, so that you can't just look at raw numbers and draw absolutely conclusive conclusions.
Well, one of the beautiful things that has Jazz fans excited, and rightly so, is there are a bunch of guys who look like they can make shots, and a bunch of guys who can score in different ways. So it's not just sitting on the three-point line. It's not just I have to get to the hoop and dunk. There's options. Keontae George, Lowry Markkanen, Jackson, Bailey. Yeah, but this team looks like it has a little more firepower than a lot of teams now.
Still the NBA.
Yeah.
And
but you were just saying, Luka Doncic, who do you have past him? I mean, he had a couple guys he trusted, but there are a bunch of guys you also couldn't trust on that team. And so if Luka's numbers are a little lower, yeah, I get why. A couple guys you couldn't trust.
Yeah. I was comparing it to Dybansta in college.
But you still had a point. I mean, if you're throwing the ball to Reeves and LeBron James, you're in good shape. If you're throwing the ball to DeAndre Ayton, hey, sometimes he cuts where he's supposed to and sometimes he doesn't.
Right. Why would you throw somebody who's a dog?
Yeah, which team
and you know
to?
And he's not a dog in a good sense. He's a dog because he dogs.
Right, but he gets dialed in, he gets dialed out, and all he's got to do is cut to the hoop and get a dunk, and he doesn't. And your pass goes out of bounds, and you look like an idiot, and you want to stop throwing it? Yeah, I get it.
To me, it's all about winning. And what can you do to allow your team to be in contention to win? And what is the level of talent that you have to be able to win at whichever level you're going to win at? When Doncic got the Mavericks to the finals, they didn't have enough. So it's ridiculous to blame him as far as that goes. And I don't care what his stats were. He basically took that team and got it to the NBA Finals. Sometimes that's a more impressive accomplishment than winning it all.
Because they do such a good job putting the team together, and you're so loaded. And
yeah. Those guys over here are better, but I'm going to take our guys.
But how did that guy drag these guys to the NBA championship?
And I think there's something to be said for that.
I think there is, because teams that are loaded and pass the eye test take a lot of heat when they don't produce in the clutch. U.S. Soccer Monday night should have been way better than that, and they weren't. So they take the heat. The Mavericks didn't take any heat. I don't really think your Suns took any heat. We got there, the eye test said they're not the better team. And they didn't make any hideous mistakes.
I would disagree on that. You went up 2-0. They were up 2-0.
They were.
They were up 2-0.
People were surprised they were up 2-0.
But they were up 2-0.
They were.
You're up 2-0 and you blow a series, you deserve heat.
I don't think either the Suns or Mavs took a bunch of heat.
That was a gag. You're up 2-0. The Mavs certainly didn't. But you're up 2-0. You're expected to win. You're a percentage guy. You can't turn around and just say, well, they didn't take that much heat. You go with numbers, and all of a sudden
at 2-0 you are. You're 2-0, you're in good shape. You're supposed to do it. Yeah.
Well, if you're big on home court because 82.6% of the teams win, blah, 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 because they're better, not because of where the game was played. That's the way I look at it, and we saw it this year with 7 gamers being lost at home multiple times.
Well, I think in the era of the three-point shot, the home court isn't worth what it used to be in Game 7. And I think there's plenty of Game 7s to do that. The point
shot has been around for 30 years.
Yeah, but not at the rate they're launching them now.
It can be a positive. I'm not sure that's a positive.
No, but I think it has the impact on Game 7s.
As long as it's a positive, it does, because they went 12 of 52. That's why it has the impact on it.
I agree.
Because they brick away.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it gets them beat.
So it's not a positive. But no one's forcing you to take the threes. Do you even watch the games?
You an Eastern Conference scout. That quote's going to stay with you.
Well, I did scout some Big Sky, and I put it on my resume.
Nice. Look at you go.
I think Peterson has an opportunity to be as good or better than any of these guys that I listed.
Well, the thing here is, can this be true? Yes, it can be true. He's in the ballpark. He's got a chance to do it. Obviously, he's got to do it. Now, will this be true? Now, you're the king of how things are phrased, and it gives you just a sliver of an argument to take and run with. Will this be true? I don't think you can guarantee it. I think that's a high bar with the guys we just listed.
No rookie's guaranteed anything.
Right. But can this be true, which is the way you phrased the question? It could be true.
Can he be better than Doncic and all these other guys?
There's a possibility.
Can he be better than Anthony Edwards? Would you take an Anthony Edwards talent right now? If that's the ceiling, if Anthony Edwards is the ceiling, would you take that? You being generally you, listeners, would you take that? Would all of us take it?
I think everybody wants more than that. I mean, right now they want Brunson.
More than that?
Brunson's the flavor of the moment. Right now they want. Brunson has a certain focus and toughness in big moments that if somebody should be throwing Kobe out there with Brunson, he doesn't have Kobe's like size and physical skills to do some of the things Kobe did. But as far as just like I'm going to get there. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to get there. The willpower, awesome. Awesome to watch a guy that small drive in there and get one big bucket after another. And you can argue that he can't do it 5 times, which Kobe did, and he doesn't get to play with Shaq, which Kobe did. You go on it, but just like sheer willpower. He doesn't have the size, he doesn't have the measurables to physically dominate people, but the guy backs down from nobody. And somehow he got the Knicks across the finish line. And they may be like everybody else, and they only win one, and they're a pretty good team, and they seized a moment, maybe they got the breaks. But they got the trophy, they got the confetti, they got the parade. They did it.
Okay.
And it's more impressive to do it 3 times in a row, which Kobe did. So I can't completely say the comparison.
I don't know why you're
but it's
comparing
sheer
him to Kobe.
willpower. Because Anthony Edwards, does he have that focus and that willpower? Maybe he will. He hasn't. He's a little bit all over the place.
He is?
Yes.
I think I would take Edwards over Brunson.
Measurables, physical skill, explosiveness. When he's on and locked in, he is something. His best basketball is very, very good. But in pro sports, and actually in college, which has become pro too, it's consistency. How often can you do it? Now, there's an argument that he doesn't have quite enough around him, and that they've got some other limits there, and that's true.
Right. I think it's clear
That's why I said it's true.
that his team isn't good enough. So I don't know that I'm going to hold that against him. And Anthony Edwards is 24 years old.
So he's not a finished product yet. Back to our whole discussion, like in 5 years, you got a pretty good idea who people are, but there's still time to write. And it's like, 5 years in, Brunson didn't have a title. Just got it here in year 8. And maybe Mitchell's a year or 2 away. Maybe they're going to figure this out.
You're talking about Donovan?
Yeah. So, these guys.
Jake Scott and I had a big argument.
Oh, yeah? About what?
He was saying that he thought that the Cavs made the wrong decision by giving Mitchell all that money.
What did he want him to do?
Let him go, I guess. Not pay him. Trade him. And my argument was these teams are forced to do this.
And I think especially in their case, it's taken them so long to get back to a conference final, and they're finally there, they're going to break it up.
And he said that the team is not going to win with him. Okay. Only one team is going to win, and there's maybe 2, 3, 5 guys tops that literally deserve the max. And he said they shouldn't have given him, that the Jazz are right to do what they did. It's a bad contract because he hasn't won anything. And then I said, then why in the crap would the Jazz give Jerry Curl Markkanen $50 million? What has he won? Why would they give Jaren Jackson $50 million? What has he won? Those are, by that standard, those are bad contracts. Are they going to lead a team to a title? Are they going to lead this team to a title?
The collective bargaining agreement is set up. You can't just pay people when they win the championship. And this whole notion that, well, so-and-so, and we can fill in any player, throw Luka Doncic in this because this is why the Dallas trade happened. If you can get them close, if there's even the perception you can get them close, they're going to get paid. Somewhere, now it's starting to change, but somewhere between 30 and 50 players in the league are going to get paid like that. And they are not all going to get their teams, obviously. They're not all going to get their teams across the, but they're going to get paid. And if you don't have any of those top 50 players, you got no chance. So you have to pay one and hope it gets you close and hope it gives you a chance. And in Dallas, when they're looking at Luka up close and they're like, he can get us close, but he can't do it.
You should have that
argument
him with Jake.
Yeah. So Jake's point, having had this discussion, so even though I didn't hear it, I got an idea what he's going to go to.
We went at it hard.
Well, I believe that. Jake is so happy-go-lucky that it's underestimated how bitter and cynical he is, because his initial energy is so positive and up.
That's what I said. You got to give your franchise hope.
You were doing the interview with the college football playoff guy, which is a very good interview. And if people didn't hear it, they should go listen to that. And in the middle of that interview, Jake gets his question and he goes, well, I'd say the TV partners have. And then his tone was like, oh, this is all blah, blah, blah. They're driving the bus. It's underrated with Jake.
But we went hard, and he accused me of attacking his integrity.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I want to hear more about this.
Oh.
We got a commercial break coming up. This will be great. Alex, look at Alex is in there laughing like, this is the good stuff.
I heard it. I was watching it, the YouTube stream when all this went down, so I saw it firsthand.
Nice. Oh, you weren't even like walking around the star when you did this. You're sitting in the chairs. Nice. Okay.
This was on the air, the whole thing.
The thing with Donovan is he dominant enough at the defensive end? You got to have something there. You got to have more there. He's been criticized about that over and over. I think justifiably, he's got to be better
Mitchell's
there.
not going to lead his team to a title.
No go. It can't be done. It's over.
Not with him being the most dominant player, no. But that doesn't mean that Cleveland shouldn't have given it to him. What
really hard to walk away from the guy who's
he
the leading
leaves your
scorer.
team's worse.
Yes.
And does it strap you in? Yeah, but what are you going to do? The situation with marketing and these guys, they had to let Kessler go because they're paying these guys.
I think Cleveland right now, even though you don't want to hear about his drama, it's like they gotta beg, borrow, steal, whatever, get LeBron to come because they're pretty much capped out, which is probably part of Jake's argument, how they add more talent. This is a chance to add a guy who isn't what he was, but he's still really good. And they don't have many options to get a guy as good as LeBron was this past season. I don't see how they get somebody with those kind of numbers.
And
that
they ain't
kind of
going to win a title
presence
with him.
And that kind of – no, but it's their best shot. It's their best path forward. Passing on LeBron and letting Donovan go, you just sag back into the middle or maybe even to the bottom of the
And I hate sagging into
Conference.
the middle.
All right, DJ and PK. You're entertaining him. You got to look up.
I just agreed with you.
I know. All right, Mike Golick Jr. talking football at the top of the hour. Our local coach is getting pumped up. I'll tell you all about that next. Stay with us.
Nobody brings you better coverage of the teams you're passionate about than these guys.
Try some more.
This is DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You know what we crave in Utah? Didn't take me long when I moved to Utah 30-plus years ago to figure this out. National recognition. The spotlight. It's why we love the Jazz, and it's why we love college football, because it's a chance for our teams to step into the spotlight and get some recognition. Our guys. PK, you do not subscribe to The Athletic, am I correct?
I don't subscribe to anything.
Right. So this is perfect. You haven't seen this. So you know who Stuart Mandel is. He's written for multiple publications. He currently writes for The Athletic.
I'm aware of the name, yes.
He's a college football lifer. He is his roots are, in the newspaper industry, ink-stained wretch. One of your people. So he does his mailbag, and he gets asked, which coaches are in position to become legends and legacy coaches like Bobby Bowden at Florida State or Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech, who are closely associated with the program? Do you think any of the top young coaches will stay long enough to build a legacy? So he starts out with it, well, coaches are more upwardly mobile, and he talks about, just the general turnover, whether you win or lose, right? So it makes it hard because of the way everything works now. But he did point out three coaches who he thinks are already legends. Three current coaches. As a college football guy, and don't overthink it, just shoot it out. Who do you think nationally? Coaches closely associated with the school, legends, they could have their name on a building or a field or a statue or a ring of honor or whatever.
Well, the Indiana coach.
He addressed that. He said, not yet because it's only 2 years, but clearly.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
He's going to get it anyway. He can't mess this up.
Yeah.
He's already got 16-0 or 7, whatever, undefeated and national champs in the bank.
Yeah, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
This is an Indiana basketball. This is one of the more phenomenal accomplishments ever. And yeah, I know money's involved. I get all that.
But nonetheless, it would have been easy to drop a game along the way. Many champions have. Anybody else you want to throw in there?
Let me go down the list. There's nobody in Florida.
Correct.
And I'll move up the coast, and I'll do it that way.
Okay.
So I don't see anybody is coming to mind. I'm going to call up a list, so you talk for a second.
Well, he's looking at guys who won national championships not far from Florida, and they probably recruited a bunch of Florida kids.
I guess you can go Sweeney.
Dabo, he has Dabo on the list, and he has Kirby Smart at Georgia on the list. And the only other name,
Legend?
Yeah, the only other name he put out there was Kirk Ferentz at Iowa.
Oh, we're going because of
who's
his
been there so
tenure.
long and has done a lot of winning. Now, and then he has one more person. He says this person was headed towards the same status.
Oh, you're going Kyle.
But threw a curveball, yes. Kyle Whittingham. Same status
but
in
I
Utah.
think you can get that status by moving to a different place. I think Bear Bryant did it.
Well, because the question was closely associated with one job, and now he may end up being associated with two.
Well, he is associated with two. There's no question.
Will it be Jordan and the Wizards, or will it be...
No, I don't think it'll be Jordan and the Wizards, but will it be good enough? That remains to be seen.
Well,
Because the
and to that
standard
point-
is everything or nothing there.
Yeah, and to the point, Nick Saban was at multiple schools, but he's closely associated with Alabama, despite the fact he won a national title at LSU and had success at Michigan State as well.
I think of him as a failed Miami Dolphins coach.
Well, that's just because you're from Jersey. He says, not there yet, but could be one day. BYU's Kalani Sitake, who made a statement about his loyalty by spurning Penn State. He talks about already having 4 double-digit win seasons. The next milestone on his resume would be reaching the college football playoff. Mind you, BYU already has an all-time great in Lavelle Edwards, who won 257 games and the school's lone national title. But his school is allowed to have multiple coaching legends. See Alabama. And then he says, among the younger coaches, Arizona State's Kenny Dillingham checks a lot of boxes. He's an alum. He's only 36. He's already won a conference championship. There's a plausible scenario where he's head coach there for 25 years and wins hundreds of games. That said, he's been a head coach for 3 years. There's a long way to go.
Well, I think that he can build that at Arizona State. I don't think there's any question about that. But will he build it in the manner that allows the Sun Devils to win a national title? Probably not. This situation has changed dramatically. I don't view that. I don't view the coaches, their job is to win a national title. Their job is to put on a great product and do it as best as you can. And Whittingham, you can argue, and for Kalani for that matter too, and certainly Bronco before they went independent, but it's just a short snapshot of time. Because 6 years into it, they went independent, I think, that their level of accomplishment, I can argue Bronco at that point was just as good as anything that was out there. Now, that's the thing. If Kyle does what he did at Utah, that's not going to be good enough. The standard is much higher.
They want the championship.
It's just, and because your rival is getting it and continues to get that. So in order for that to be a rival, you've got to be on the same level. You got to be on par with them, right? It's the same exact thing. So I look at legends in a different manner than you can't throw them all in the same hat. And they all have to achieve the same thing because some aren't equipped. And so,
well, I think that's the thing with Cignetti. He'll never have the longevity all these other coaches have, but because it's Indiana, and because they have an undefeated national championship team that 2 years ago no one could have even speculated on 2 years earlier, and then he delivered it. So he'll never have Bobby Bowden's longevity, he doesn't need it because he did the unthinkable.
Yeah. So I'm okay with that. But I don't think Dillingham will be competing for national titles anytime soon. But that doesn't mean he can't be a legend.
Right.
Because their standard is not the same as Ohio State's.
And we don't know what college football holds and where this thing's all going.
We don't, but I don't think that it's ever going to hold where that door is going to be flung wide open to the manner of Ohio State.
But we never thought it was going to be flung wide open in Indiana, and yet here we are.
Yeah, but did we think that for when? In the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and so forth? Well, once money became available, then it changed. Because it's the same thing with Texas Tech. We didn't think that with Texas Tech, but now we do. Because they have unlimited money.
So if some ASU dude
it's not going to happen,
builds a billion-dollar company,
you're in a metropolitan area
right,
where there's a million things. Yep. It's not Lubbock, Texas, where it's Texas Tech or nothing. They struck gold there, literally. And good for them.
Texas T.
Good for them, man. They got it. And Indiana, they got the same thing. But that doesn't mean he can't do a phenomenal job and be a legend there and have a statue or whatever, I don't know, field or his name up there.
Yeah. Ring of Honor.
Yeah. And I think he will. If he stays, I think he will.
He said it
but that's okay.
He said it as a personal goal for himself. I mean,
well, everybody does.
But no. But I think some coaches get in thinking I'm going to move, and he wants to be at Arizona State. I mean,
until somebody makes him an incredible offer, and Kalani wants to be at BYU. Until the Rams make him an incredible offer. And his kids are older and whatnot.
Stuart Mandel did address the NFL at the very start of his answer.
Yeah.
He says, well, it's a different era, but assuming that everybody isn't moving up to a bigger league with more money or to the NFL.
Right.
Yeah.
So that stuff is always out there. So, yeah, they're all going to say it. I told Kenny on the air, I said, yeah, I thought that was really shrewd of you of showing – that it was all during the Michigan thing, that you're staying and you want to stay. Recruits, I'm going to be here, and I'm going to hand Thanksgiving food over to my sister on the fence. And he smiled.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And he appreciated the fact that you saw it. You remember, you're like.
And I'm the only media guy outside of the locals who got that.
Where's my guy?
Because that's local to me.
Right, yeah.
And
it's your alma mater.
And he looked at me in the eye, and plus I go back there tons of times. I was back there last month. I go back 6-7 times a year.
Your sisters are still there.
Right,
yeah.
Right. And her family, her brother. Yeah. And plus it's warm in the winter. If it was cold, screw you. But it's not. It's great in the winter. Yes. So I have a deep connection there. And I talk to Ryan Hatch a lot, and he's a boss down there and used to be up here, blah, blah, blah. And so we go, and he tells me stuff and yada, yada. So I knew of that. But I think he can do it. But I have to put it in perspective. Like I told you some Utah fans, you got a great thing, but you're not Ohio State. But you got a great thing, so enjoy for what it is, man. It's great.
They seem to. We've both walked down Guardsman's Way. Our station's been broadcasting on Guardsman. They're all out there tailgating. They're having a good time. They file into the stadium, and the place goes nuts.
But there's a few guys that thought they were bigger than they are, and they're not. But they're great. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome.
You only get to that by aspiring for the unthinkable. So aspire to the unthinkable.
Yeah, maybe you can catch lightning in a bottle one time, and that's all it is. If you just get it once, who knows what Indiana's going to do repeatedly? I don't know. We'll find out. So I broadened the legend status there. I don't just put it, did you win it all or nothing? Now, for Kyle, that's what he's going to have to face. And he knows that full well.
Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State. Right now I'm seeing preseason stuff. They're literally 1, 2, 3 in the entire country.
Yeah, so
it's a high bar.
He's walking into a furnace, man.
High bar.
And we'll see what happens as far as that goes. And they've done it recently.
Yeah, and they're all on the schedule for Michigan this year. Like, they're not missing any of the big dogs. I mean, in these huge leagues, sometimes you do, but they're not.
And their non-conference game is Oklahoma.
4 playoff teams on the schedule.
And Trammell's going to be there.
I heard him say that.
I asked him. I would love to be there, just to experience
it. It's great listening.
A fan?
It's great listening to Barry Trammell because Barry he loves stories. And Oklahoma State's done. They all got in their cars and went home. I don't know what they were thinking. Barry's like, there's more stories. What are you guys doing? He's here to cover the whole league. So you guys start giving him Utah and BYU stories. He was lapping them up because he loves stories.
Oh, yeah. He was going to town on that, man.
Yeah.
He does. And then he turned around and asked Morgan that. And I told him about the Fred Whittingham connection that even goes down to BYU with Kelly Poppinga himself mentioning it, even though he was never coached by a Whittingham. But he understands. He knows the pedigree.
But he's getting it from Kalani and Gary. So.
Yeah, it just on and on.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's so strong. It's so cool that's the connection. It's so Utah in a sense, state of Utah. Mm-hmm. And, that's why we love it around here because there's all these intersections of connections, and it's incredible. And Kalani can do it. Yeah, I think he can. I don't know that, well, once they won the national title, they basically shut it down, and nobody from that level is going to win it again, which is why I think we're going to see some changes to the playoff because they let Tulane and James Madison in. That's not going to happen.
2 group of 5 teams. You've seen that for the last time.
I believe so.
I do too.
Yeah.
Even if it goes to 24. I used to think there'd be a spot for 2, and I don't anymore. 1.
Yeah, there was a loophole there, and those teams took advantage of it. Well, they'll just close it.
Bingo.
And that's what the who was it? Was it the?
It's the ACC's fault.
Was it one of the interviews? Oh, I think it was it was the AD at Baylor, and he came on.
Okay.
And he's new, right? He went to Baylor. He was in the business world, and then they just brought him in, right? McInerney, I think his name is Doug, maybe. And I said, and he's talking about all these changes and all. And I said, yeah, but we got Democrats and Republicans here. And whatever the Big Ten wants, the SEC is going to disagree with. Even if it's the most logical thing, we're going to disagree with it.
I heard you use that analogy.
Yeah. And vice versa. So we can create all these great things that are great for the game, and then the SEC and Big Ten are going to argue it out. Yeah. And it seems like we're wasting time here.
Yes. I keep waiting for the Big Ten to raid the SEC. The Big Ten started to get more money. Now they'll need a lot more money, but maybe they can get it. And at what point, why if these leagues, when there were 6 or 7 of them, and then we're down to 6, and we're down to 5, and now we're down to 4, I mean, why are these 2 not going to rate each other?
Yeah, but what does that give them?
Puts the Big Ten in a situation where essentially they are the league and they are the NCAA and they're the big dog. And
big deal. What do they got?
There's no argument left.
Okay, but were they going to play among themselves?
They have, yeah.
That's not going to work.
32-team league. It doesn't mean they won't try it. And then at some point, will some of those teams splinter away and think this doesn't work? I mean, college football and realignment's been going on forever. Now, it picked up speed here recently and it got pretty wild, but it has been going on forever.
You can't kill yourself, though. I don't see what that gets them. Turning off large portions of the country
you're not wired
is not to your advantage.
I agree with that.
But I think they can understand that.
And they do to a degree, but, I mean, they're toying with it, breaking up the Pac-12. I mean, college football isn't as big in the West. Now, it's bigger than it is in the Northeast, but if they're not careful, they could turn the West into the Northeast where it really just is all about the pros.
And I think they understand that. I don't see that happening.
Let's check the next round of realignment and see if they do something to help themselves in this part of the country.
Sure, but I don't think they're going to destroy. Their mission isn't to destroy the other conference.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coming up top of the hour, Mike Golick Jr. Stay with us.
Utah's best coverage of the Utes, Cougars, Jazz, and Mammoth. Here we go. From the guys who have been there for all the biggest moments in Utah sports history. You're listening to DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK, tonight at 7 o'clock, ESPN gives the people what they want. NBA Summer League, Day 1 in Las Vegas. Your Utah Jazz and the Washington Wizards, AJ Dybansta versus Darryn Peterson. Of course, it's not a one-on-one game, but it might get treated like that.
Oh, man, if he goes for 40, I'm going to buy season tickets.
You are not.
Mark my words.
Mark my words. This is what Summer League is for. Give us this, play a few games, and then hit the road. They sat everybody in Game 3 in Utah, so I believe we'll see everybody tonight. Ace Bailey, Cody Williams, whoever else you want to see. We're loaded. It's loaded Summer League.
Is Obama going to be there?
I would guess no.
Why not?
Because they just signed him.
Okay, I didn't ask if he was going to play. I said he's Mo Betta.
He's a vet. Now,
Mo Betta Bamba.
Could he show up in the gym to be supportive? I wouldn't rule that out.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant he was actually going to play tonight.
I didn't say that. I said, was he going to be there?
We do see veterans show up for this. So if there's a smattering of veterans from whatever teams are down there,
our guys will be there.
Yeah.
They're together, man. This team's got character. The chemistry's off the charts. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. How's my popularity? Yeah. It's summer. It's Vegas. Yeah, you can go work on all that stuff and hang out.
So what
in
you're
Vegas.
saying is it's summer and it's Vegas.
Yeah, go
I
hang
didn't
out,
know that.
Have a good time. Sure,
I thought it was
fine.
late spring, and I thought it was in Henderson.
This is an easy ask. Well, that would probably work too. But that would probably conflict with the playoffs, which we're anticipating the Jazz would be in.
But somewhere it's 5 o'clock.
Hey, you've heard of Cancun on 3. I wouldn't rule out a Henderson on 3.
Henderson is a beautiful place.
It's got the pools. It's got the golf courses. It's got the casinos.
But does it have Mo Bamba?
There's been some NBA players bouncing around there. I wouldn't be surprised. All right, check it out tonight. Game 1, Jazz and Wizards in Las Vegas, 7 o'clock on ESPN. DJ and PK. When we come back, Mike Golick Jr. covering the Big 12 for ESPN. He joins us next. Get his thoughts on the fallout from Media Days, what he expects in this conference this year. Stay with us.